No, not yet. Not quite yet.
Are we supposed to be on?
It just come up live now. We like 1 or 2 seconds.
No, we're not on.
Well, according to, I don't know. There's me and you on. I think
you're on.
Am I on?
I tell you what.
More on.
It's a right mess you've got me into.
Fucking isn't all, man. But look at that, though. Look at that. The likeness of you, AD, and the likeness of me.
I know. Uncanny, isn't it?
And his name's even harder.
It is, yeah. Yeah. Mind you, even if it wasn't, you'd never have put me as Ollie. As, what's his name? Stan, would you? Really?
No, I don't think so.
You wouldn't, would you? Right, hello.
I think people are here.
Take it down. It's because you've got a new toy to play with, isn't it?
I have got a new toy. Thank you very much, Super Leeds, and coffee as well. Thanks. Have you found the comments section yet?
Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, because I didn't know I could read these. And mind you, with these glasses, I probably can't.
Oh, here he goes. We can't even read fucking comment. He moaned about comment. He didn't listen. This is something that we got last night, right? Oh man! After you got off,
yeah. Did you keep going?
Well, I kept talking. Oh God, it's quite difficult to, Rob just talks and talks and talks. But, I'm just telling everybody that last night, after we'd finished, Rob said, "Oh, there's a thing here. I can read the comments from the comments on YouTube and what have you." And he says, "I didn't know I could do that." And then Adi said, "I didn't know that either." So Adi's been through all these times, and he's never known that there's a comment section. You can read the comments.
No, I never knew.
Everybody. Yeah, and but you know what he said to me last night as well? They were reading through comment. Once he found it, we're reading through them, meticulously reading through them, and he said. Someone had put, I can't remember who it were, but if you want to, you can own up in the chat room. But somebody had put on, throw another koala on the Barbie.
Oh, no.
And Rob said, if I'd have seen that, I'd have fucking gone mad. I'd have gone mental at him. And I was laughing my fucking head off because I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
It's just a funny thing, I just thought it was fucking amazing. But anyway, good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News. I'm assuming you're watching now and that you can see us and hear us. It's myself and Aid Hardy, and we are streaming live on not only YouTube but also Facebook as well. I hope we are. Anyway, we're supposed to be. That was the deal. But yes. So and big thanks to like I said before. I did say it before, didn't I? To Leeds and Coffee for making this possible. Because now we've got this new system, and I've been playing about with it a bit all day, but. It allows you to do other things. But you're here, AD. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, just Rob last night. He's got a story for everything, but his knowledge, especially his history, is phenomenal. I mean, he knows 10 times more about British history than I do.
Oh yeah, of course. Well,
easily, if not more.
I mean, you've got to look it up. Anything that people say. I mean, you've got to have a look. Yeah. But yeah, inside, if he's just making it up, it's fucking good stuff, innit?
Oh yeah. And the other thing, what really stood out for me last night with Rob, when I asked him about the explanation for the fires, or the explanation for the fires being like 10 times bigger than they normally are, and I said, this is what Max Egan thinks, he just said, I've not researched it, I don't know. Rather than ploughing through with some assumption, he didn't do that. And I thought, good for him, because a lot of people, would have come up with a couple of assumptions, but he didn't.
Yeah, well, I've emailed Max today.
Yeah.
To invite him on show and talk about this bushfires thing.
Yeah.
I've spent the afternoon. I mean, this mornings are just like lazy for me because I have I take loads of tablets and it takes energy out of me, so I laze about. And then afternoon, I've been trying to book guests left, right, and centre. And Shield Destroyer said he would come on if he gets back in time. So hopefully he will be getting back in time, and he'll be in the chat room and he'll let us know, and we'll be able to send him the link to get him on. But we're just having just tonight. Well, if we're well, let's just show you some of the things that we can do with this new thing that we couldn't do before. And I know these things might seem easy to do, but they believe me, doing this sort of stuff they're not. But anyway, we've got this sort of thing we could do that we can do if we put this on like that. There you go. That's.
Hang on, I can't read that because I've got that minimised. Hang on a minute. Put that up. Hang on. Oh, I'm mucking my screen up now.
Oh, really?
Oh, dear.
So we can do that, and we can do that.
Tell you what, if that weren't true, it'd be even funnier.
Yeah, completely would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. And we can do things like this. We can now show, and believe me, I've only got into a very few of these things that you can do. But where are we? Banners, brand. Oh, here we go. Like you've seen that we can put photos up.
Yeah,
that's behind it. That's the background, like that. Like you see. We can also put photos up like this. After the show last night, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I came across an ad, which the ads are specifically designed for you, apparently, due to the algorithms and that. And I thought, perhaps we're talking a little bit too much about transgender on the show, and that's why this has popped up. Enjoy. It's all by Wish. Men's underwear. Look at them lacy bad boys, eh? You just imagine I'd be wearing them and I'd pull the most amazing bird, and she'd laugh her arse off when she got me pants off. So yeah.
I think where you're failing there is you pulled some bird. I don't think you'd pull anybody if she knew you got them on.
Oh no, Jesus Christ!
Or we're looking forward to taking them off.
Also, it's quite handy for showing pictures like this. That's my leg. Yeah. That's the most recent picture of my leg. So and that's getting better. So there you go. I know it looks gross and that, and
when you came to see me when I was all smashed up in hospital, and I kept saying I've got an hole in my leg. That picture I've still got somewhere. We'll have to put that up.
Yeah,
having an hole this big in my leg. Anyway, right. So we've got this new thing. We've got a new logo that's in this here.
Yeah,
we've got names in orange. Orange is good. Orange is the new black. It's my team's colour, so I'm happy.
Right. Well, it's been orange colours all the way through, orange and black.
Yeah. So I'm absolutely cool with that. I think it's good. And thanks for those that made it possible. It's really good of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
But we don't. We haven't even monetized the YouTube or anything. Nothing. Just because we just kind of like to think that what we do is, if somebody just happens to enjoy it as much as we do, then fine. Just because I don't know about you, maybe it's still my way of being able to vent, or listen to somebody else venting.
It is a good way. It is a good way to vent. I just had this earlier on. My missus, she was sat having after a tea, and I'd rolled my son a cig, and she said to me, "Oh, you're smoking, are you?" I said, "Yeah, I fucking am." I said, "There's everything trying to fucking kill me, so I might as well fucking smoke, can't I?" For fuck's sake, I've got fucking shit fucking falling off. I've got shit in my leg I'm trying to keep on. That's fucking probably going to kill me in fucking 5 years or whatever. I don't know fuck all about. So yes, I'm having a fucking fight. It's the the venting. Obviously, you know what my relationship is like with Danielle, and it was just it was a retort from earlier on when she were crushing cans, and I said put her, because they kept slipping out from under her foot, you know, onto floor. And I said, put a towel under it, and they won't slip then. And so I keep hearing them, they keep flicking about. I said, put a towel under it. What I used to do is I used to put a towel under it. They don't run off then. Then the third time I said it, I said, you should be using towels. She said, I'm fucking using a towel. I said, ooh, who's got a fucking wrong side of bed this morning? Yeah, but they were a bit of a retort to that. Yeah, so we had some, I don't even know what we started talking about. What we started talking about.
No, but by doing what we do on here, it's like
a way that's it, the venting bit. Yeah,
it is. It's a good way of venting, and it's good to get people on who are also not just. People tend to look at things that interest them, and our interest changes as we get older. And you know, bloody hell, I mean, I'm interested in things I never thought I'd be interested in, like reading the first chapter of Carl's book that I keep promising to do, and I am going to do it, Carl. I promise, mate. But I never thought I'd be reading some of the stuff that I'm reading. You know, if you'd have said to me 15 years ago or even 10 years ago, you know, would I have done any law stuff? No, probably not. So I know all that changes. So it's no surprise that people end up studying something that's either interesting or important to them. And so we end up with people who are really good on particular subjects. The ones that I'm always cautious of are those people who keep changing what their special subject is and hanging their hat on the next new thing or the next thing they think they can make some money from. And I think that sadly, because there is that much, misinformation or, I mean, not all of it's misinformation. There's always some truth in every lie, but
bullshit. There's some bullshit, man. There's
some
bullshit.
There is. Yeah. There's tons of it. And it is difficult sometimes to work out who's full of shit and who isn't. But it's good then also to hear other people, two different opinions. But as I said before, you know, like when we're talking about the BBC, who always try to have both sides of the argument. Well, how can if something's either true or not true, you can't have both sides of the argument because there's only one truth. It either is or it isn't.
Yeah, but we've got this new phrase, haven't we? It's your truth.
Yeah.
Now your truth now fucking supersedes the actual truth. Yeah. If your truth is in your fucking head. Yeah. Go on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's like oh God, what is it? It was the Canadian guy, Bob. Can't remember his name. And you know, he stood there in court, and do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And he said, "I'm sorry, I can't." It's, why not? It's, well, I don't know all the truth. I'm working on it, but I don't know it all. So, no, if I knew all that, I'd have written the book. You know, I'd be in it, which is true. Because we've only got our own truth. But when you're looking at a subject, like on the BBC, 99% of it is politics and money, and which is money, because that's what politics is, how to spend money. And yet they'll never talk about what money really is and how money really is created. So whichever two sides of their argument they're having, both fucking sides are wrong. And yet that's what they don't teach our kids at school. I wonder why that might be.
Yeah.
I think I might be getting a bit cynical in my old age.
I've just been checking on the Facebook, and the Facebook is working, so we're going live on Facebook and on. The problem is it's on my profile, and so I can't see any comments that come in on that. Apart from if I've got it running, and I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Especially with fucking way Facebook takes up a lot of your internet. So yeah, we are live on Facebook. I've just checked it. You can watch
At
us
the
on.
end of this, don't forget that you've still got your Facebook running. Don't leave it there and then talk shit about somebody.
Oh, like who?
Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, didn't mean to bring that up. Stop it.
Yeah. Oh, all right then.
Right, go on then. Yes.
Yes, go on. You were saying.
No, Heath's in.
Yeah,
Right,
he is in. He said he hasn't been in the zone since he moved house. Also joined a modern country band and a guitarist and drummer and writing loads of songs. So I'm busy learning, Dinny. Nice one, Heath. I'm gonna have a suggestion for you. I want like a 30-second intro, and I want it a certain way. So when you get some time, just to go with a piece of video that I'm going to put up. That's going to be like an intro to the show. So it'll be 30 seconds, and like you do, you get on them shitty programs on telly. We used to have music on here. Do you remember when we used to have music?
Yeah, but I'd rather just. Yeah, I know. Anyway, look, what's winding you off the clock at the minute?
To be honest, no, really. I've had a really good day. If you'd have come to me yesterday and asked me that, I probably had about a billion things to say. No, I've not really seen the news. I've watched a bit. I did watch a bit earlier on, and they were talking fucking. I don't know what Boris is doing. I mean, Boris. I don't know what his gig is. I don't know what. I can't work out what the game is.
Well, I've had two people. Well, I was sort of thinking it, and then somebody else has said it to me tonight that a lot of the stuff that we're hearing is like it's not. Normally, the NHS at this time of year are saying there's millions of people got flu. We can't cope. We need more money. But I'm not hearing that. What I'm hearing is entire NHS wonderful. And yet, from you've just had a recent thing in hospital. And that could have gone an awful lot better, to say the least. My son 2-3 weeks ago had an asthma attack at like 2:00 in the morning. His partner rang for an ambulance, so she bowled him into the ambulance and off they went to hospital in Rotherham. And 2 hours later, they just said, "Sorry, we've not got anybody to see you. You need to go home."
Sickening, isn't it? That.
So when we've got that sort of thing happening, and I might say not everywhere, because my mum fell and broke her hip between Christmas and New Year, and they've been fabulous with her. No reason at all to complain. So it's not all of the NHS, but normally this time of year, all we're hearing is, "Oh, there's a new strain of flu out. Those of you that haven't had your flu jab yet, you really must come and get." And there hasn't kind of been that this year. And it's just all seems to be trickling with the like positive rhetoric, not massively in your face, but trickling in the NHS wonderful. These people are doing fabulously well. So there's something going on, but I don't know what. But we're not. It's just what we're being told and what we're being led to believe about the NHS at the moment isn't the normal annual thing that we normally get at all.
Well, for me, I think Brexit probably was.
Yeah, because that's just a conversation showstopper, isn't it?
What it did is fucking. Sorry, I'm reading a comment in there. It's got my name on it at the top. Sorry, Alice. There. I haven't tried Manicone, but I'll give it a try. Brexit, what it did is when this last election, you can either have Jeremy Corbyn, who was going to fucking give free broadband, which would be bollocks because that would be through a smart meter anyway. So it won't be free broadband. It'd be if you've got a fucking smart meter in, and that's the agenda anyway. But you'd have got your free broadband. The NHS he would have protected. You would have thought, they did say all that, and his past suggests that he might have done that, but he got it completely wrong on Brexit, and I don't know whether that was the whole thing was a plan to get the Tories another 10 years, because they knew when Cameron were in there, even when Cameron were in there, the ratings were really low. And then when we got Brexit, Cameron went, May came in, made a complete fucking bollocks of it. This is Theresa May, Conservative leader, made a complete bollocks of it, the Conservative Party, yet they still got elected because on Brexit. So she makes a complete and utter bollocks of it, and yet the Tory party still get elected because they claim to be, they're going to deliver Brexit, and it's 31st of this month apparently.
It's just gone quiet, I think. Not that I mean, I never try and watch the news. It just kind of whatever happens to be where happen to be in a day. But even I've not sort of. I would have thought if it was this close, to it actually happening, it'd have been bang, bang, bang. Is this why the Harry and Meghan thing's happening?
Yeah.
That's what you got to ask yourself. Who benefits? Well, if there's shit going on that, nobody's got time to ask about, then nobody's going to ask it if they ain't got time to ask it because they're too busy worrying about Harry and Meghan. I could be completely miles away, but you've got to ask yourself. And the other thought that I'd have, just before I get onto that, the film Kingsman. Don't know if you can remember it.
I've seen it. I think it's fucking shit, isn't it? It's like really fucking dodgy and shit. Yeah,
well,
go on.
That's where, if you think that, it's kind of a Bond come, sort of. Anyway, in a very light-hearted way, although I do like the bit at the end where she says, "If you save the world, then we can do it in the asshole." I found that line to be quite a gripping line in the film. Anyway, in that, the character's called Valentine, and it's played by what's his name? What's the black actor called? Does all the Marvel-y stuff.
Oh, you mean it's in The Office, isn't it? It's in the American Office. Fucking hell, I know. Oh God,
oldish guy.
I know what you mean. Is it?
Anyway,
yeah.
He's in it.
Somebody tell us in chat room,
please, because I'm just going mad.
It's fucking.
And basically, what he does, he gives everybody a free SIM card.
Is it Ebra?
No.
Idris Ebra.
No, it's not Idris Elba. No.
Elbra.
No, it's not Idris Elba.
Ah, well, who is it then?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Right. Okay.
Right. So basically, what happens is he gives everybody a free SIM card.
Is Samuel L. Jackson the same as that other one that played God?
No. Fucking hell. No.
He is.
No, that was
Shawshank Redemption.
No, that's him with a right deep voice. Anyway, that's fuck all to do with me.
Jackson.
No, fuck off. Do you want me to carry on, or shall we just talk about?
Yeah, come on, you carry on, mate. It's like having Rob on again, isn't it?
Anyway, basically, he gives in this film, he gives everybody a free SIM card, and then at the touch of a button, everybody's just like goes mental and starts beating each other up. And I just thought to myself when I saw that, and then you like look at what 5G and smart meters, everybody's blindly having these things fitted in their homes. God knows how many satellites they've told us are about to go up to beam 5G at us. And you sort of watch films and go, yeah, that's a bit Bit close to home, that, isn't it, really? So you can't say they're hiding anything. It's all there in plain sight. It's all there for us to see.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, but I was watching this morning. I was watching. It's part of my morning routine when I come downstairs and play with dog for a bit and take him out for a piss. Oh, why? By the way, how come? Right, if Watson's balls are took off, how come he still his lipstick still comes out?
It's a dominance thing.
Oh right, okay. So Watson's a rapist because dominance, it's like a part of a rapist.
Well, not all people who like to be dominant are rapists, I would have thought.
So he wants to dominate me, and what's he going to do with his lipstick? He can't do it with it.
Hang on a minute. Is this in the morning we're talking about?
Yeah, when I'm stroking his belly. Or
have you never woke up with, and gone, shame I can't use that?
Listen, I wake up with one every morning so big that it's like I ain't got a blanket on.
He's a no. He is a no. Right, so yes. So, right, come on, back on subject. What? Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking with the... no, don't do that. The thing with Harry and Meghan, and is it kind of done to give them something to talk about? That was the thing I heard. What did I hear this on? Hang on, where have I been today? It must have been on the radio when I was on the way up the motorway this morning. That's right, it was, yeah. I'd have been listening to probably Chris Evans on his breakfast show thingy. And one of the...
you fucking people. Fucking what? Chris Evans. He's so 1993.
Yeah, well, who cares? It's half an hour in the car,
This is to Chris Evans. Yeah, go on, yeah.
And he got these three chefs on. And take the banner down, Jason.
All right.
And one of these chefs was Swedish. And they sort of mentioned this Harry and Meghan thing to him. And he went, well, it's quite easy what we have in Sweden. We have a royal family. And so there's the king and the queen. And we have two princes, two princesses. And that's it. Everybody else is part of the family, but not paid for, not important, doesn't suck out the system. That's what we've got, In other words, a king and queen and a spare king and a spare queen. Oh, and a spare queen and a spare king. That's basically the royal family. Even their kids are not classed as part of the royal family, apparently. And so, the ever-increasing royal payroll that we have to pay for is nothing like the Swedish one. And he said... So all of this constitution stuff just wouldn't happen in Sweden, but about trying to lose about not being in the royal family. Because if it was Sweden, it wouldn't be paid for by the royal family, by the state.
You would have thought that if it were managed and engineered, you would have thought that it might be Prince Andrew that would be withdrawing from the suckling of the nation's collective teat.
Well, I think he probably still is doing exactly that. But it's like Fergie. Nobody's heard of Fergie for a while, have we?
Who?
Ferguson, Sarah Ferguson.
Oh yeah, well no, because she was married to a paedophile.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein paid her debts off.
Exactly, yeah. But that's actually, that's information in the public domain, that, isn't it? It's,
Well, if you remember, back in the day, there was this this huge kerfuffle in papers and that she were actually in a load of debt. And then
that's when she started to do the kids' books, wasn't it?
Yeah, she wrote fucking something about an helicopter, fucking arsehole the helicopter or something.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to have got her out of about 30 million quid's worth of fucking debt. I mean, have a fucking day off. Who's going to buy that shit anyway? You don't buy that shit for your kids. Get some real fucking stuff for your kids. If they can read fucking... Yeah, every book is a kid's book if the kid can read.
Yeah.
So, fucking... Oh, that's shit. So she's not going to have fucking done 30 odd million quid on that, is she?
No.
So, and Jeffrey Epstein paid off her alleged debt. Who did show it to? I don't get it. Who did show it to? You know,
showed it to the Guelph family bank.
I mean, what did they say? Oh, by the way, we want money back from you because you were sucking some cunt's toes when you were supposed to be fucking. And then she'd come back and say, yeah, I was supposed to be, but fucking your Andrew had fucked off on Jeffrey Epstein's fucking plane, and he were up to his fucking nuts and guts in a dead fucking 6-year-old. So you know, it's fucking just the whole thing's fucking appalling. The whole lot of them, are absolutely appalling. From Philip, the Queen fucking sits there in a big house and tells everybody we're going to fucking pull his weight, tighten his belts, and get out of this mess. And and she sat there with a fucking crown on a gold chair. You know,
I think the thing that bugs me about it all is you've got this Harry and Meghan thing, and everybody's talking about it, and especially in America. Fucking hell, they'll be loving this. Oh, she's one of ours. And the Canadian government's welcomed them with open arms. Yeah, I bet they fucking have. So everybody's full of that, but nobody's full of, hang on a minute, Mountbatten, pedo. Prince Charles was mentored by him, wasn't he? And Prince Charles was best mate with Savile, who was a paedophile. And then his brother, Prince Andrew, he had a mate called Epstein, who was a paedophile. So nobody's thought about that. They're all like, oh.
Then he got a fucking fake Australian mate who fucking got him to paint his mother. Who were he? Paedophile.
Yeah.
Oh, Rolf.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have had a word with what's his face last night about him.
About Rolf, yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody's willing to lap up this fucking fairy tale princess, don't want to be a princess shit. And not one of them same people have gone, but they're all a bunch of pedos. Nobody's actually very selective about which part of the royal story people get interested in. And I just sit there and I think, that is really how good this programming is. For there to be the same people involved, wanting something that for some reason people care about, and nobody sees it. That's how good the programming is, from cradle to grave. Because it's not the NHS that will look after you from cradle to grave. It's the indoctrination and the blooming the programming that you get. Because it must be bloody good. Because there's thousands of people, stand for a bloody national anthem. They bring some money in for tourists? No, they don't. No, Big Ben does and all that lot, and that'd all still be fucking here when they're digging roses up,
Oh yeah. I don't. It's like fucking Stockholm syndrome, isn't it? I mean, you get people that have not got a fucking pot to piss in.
Yeah.
And they're fucking stood with a flag.
Exactly. Them same people probably just had the benefits stopped because the education system let them down. So there is no job for them to have, even though, we should all be able to earn enough whatever to look after ourselves in maybe 2.5 days a week, but we're all taxed up to the fucking eyeballs that, people are having to work 40 and 50 and 60 hours, and it's all just big part of the same fucking scam. But even the fucking basic stuff like family, fairy tale, same family, pedos, and the only bit that 90% of people look at is the fucking fairy tale bit. And I just kind of look and I think, what the fuck can you say to somebody to make them listen? How hard do we have to be fucked up the arse before we'll actually realise that we're bent over begging?
Oh, fucking hell. Absolutely. Absolutely bent over begging. Let's say hello to some people in the chat room. Webster is in here. Paul Webster, the Webster report is in there. Super Leeds is in as usual. Tony as well. Dot. James Howe. Good evening to James Howe. Alice George. Alicat George. Mascara Snake. Committed Escaper as well. Good evening to everybody that's listening. Thanks for ruining your Tuesday evening by listening to us. We're trying to listen. Hopefully, we're going to get Shield Destroyer on in a bit. If Shield Destroyer gets home in time, he's going to come on and have a bit of a chat with us. But at the moment, you're stuck with just me and Aid. And by the way, Aid, I just want to make this out. You know when you said take the banner down. This is how bad Aidy's eyes are. He didn't realise it was a different banner than the one I put up before.
No, why? What did it say?
It said this show is sponsored by Super Leeds and coffee. So that's just how bad your eyes are. Yeah,
put that back up. Yeah.
Just saw a fucking orange thing going across the bottom of the screen and thought, oh, well, yeah, it's taking piss.
What I have to do, if I want to look at me and you, I've got to make that bit of my screen big. And if I want the comments, I've got to make that bit of my screen big. Yeah. So all I need is a bigger screen.
Yeah, just get a right big, plug it into a 50-inch telly.
Well, I've got one of them, but you know.
I've noticed this. I've just gone on BBC page because I wanted to see what fucking bullshit they were ploughing at. But it's Flybe reaches rescue deal with shareholders. So that's another airline that's in one of these local airlines that are in trouble. I mean, that's a regional one, isn't it? It's just UK.
Yeah. Apparently, the deal they were trying to do was, the tax that we all have to pay for every time a plane takes off and lands. It's a tax that's included in internal flights. Certainly in this country, I don't know about others. And I guess it's a bit like VAT, when you're actually paying it, you're paying it behind or whatever. And so Flybe are obviously, is it Flybe? Yeah, they're struggling.
Yeah.
And the deal they were trying to come up with was let us off the bill for all this tax that they owe, the airport tax. And I know they said if that was going to go ahead, they'd need shareholders to put money in as well. So that's probably what they've ended up doing.
Yeah. It's something about Mail on Sunday defends publishing Meghan letter, so another load of bollocks that just isn't fucking of any interest to anybody that's got a fucking brain. Tax and titles, your Harry and Meghan questions answered.
Woo-hoo! Yeah. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Iran and Iraq. Specifically Iran, I mean, if we go back that Iran was one of the countries that was on the PNAC document. Yep. Yeah,
Project for a New American Century.
Which I'm sure everybody knows, but it was a list of that came out in the year, was it 2000, wasn't it? Was it 2001?
No, it weren't 22,000 because that's not even been yet, man.
No.
Have you the future? This is in future. This will be brought up and it'll be proof that you're a fucking time traveller. That's what it'll be. Somebody in about 100 years' time will say we had Ada, we're a time traveller.
Hey, listen, if time travel were possible, do you think they'd use this? They wouldn't. They'd find something better, wouldn't they?
Use what?
Me.
Well, you might have got the gift. It might be something that you might have got a portal in your back garden that you don't know about. Like
easy now. Is that some kind of euphemism? Anyway, so Iran was in the year 2000 on the document, and basically it was a list of 7 countries at least that they wanted to regime change. And that was the one when they said, it will take a long time, basically, unless there's another Pearl Harbor. And then, of course, when we had 9/11 a few months later, that was our Pearl Harbor. And the people who did the document were the think tank that became Bush's administration, effectively. So it was the same people. So they planned it. But Iran at the moment, I mean, they keep having old Trumpy keeps, having a dig and a stab and a poke and they keep sort of batting him off. What do you think? What do you think it's going to kick off? Do you think it's just going to be constantly bubbling, this perpetual war that we're in, or what do you think?
Well, it's not going to all kick off, is it? It might kick off in Middle East, but it's not going to kick off here. There might be an invasion of Iran, but fucking people's the fucking bastard junk fucking pile of shit that the Iraq war were, and how that just fucking went on and on and on and on. You've got this picture of George Bush with job mission accomplished. Remember that? He got this thing with mission accomplished because they'd beat Iraq. For fuck's sake, Iraq had nothing. They talk about the Iraqi Republican Guard, the elite Iraqi Republican Guard. Iraq had nothing. The only thing they had was propaganda, which is why you've got that bloke. Who do you remember? They called him Comical Ali.
Yeah,
he was an Iraqi government spokesman, and he said, "No, there's no Americans in here. No, it's all a load of bollocks. There's a fucking tank going behind him. A fucking American tank going driving behind him." And they called him Comical Ali, And then you've got mission accomplished, and so that's like that. Were in 2003. 2003. It must have just been summer 2003 because. They invaded in March, and then it didn't take them long. And so then after that, you've got mission accomplished written on this thing. And then 10 years later, there's still thousands and thousands of American troops in Iraq still getting killed and by insurgents. I mean, what the fuck's sake? You're only one step away from being an insurgent. And that's somebody fucking invading your country.
Yeah,
you're not a fucking insurgent. If you are doing it, if you're doing anything, you're trying to protect your country.
Yeah, you're trying to protect what you believe is rightfully yours to protect.
Fighter. So I don't know about whether they'll get a similar situation in Iran as they got in Iraq. I know they're gunning for it, but I think they'd probably prefer an easy victory, which is, I mean, there was a protest. A government protest against in Iran against the government and the fucking the United States ambassador got arrested at it. so you've got a diplomat who's in that country as a representative of his country.
Arrested.
A diplomat, a fucking diplomat, right? Now, just think about what that word means. A diplomat. And he's fucking clearly, they were word that it were all fucking staged anyway, like all the shit we've seen in this country with climate change and Extinction Rebellion, and they've all shut their fucking mouths now, aren't they? In case Prince Andrew fucking comes in it. But it's just fucking. I don't think they'll get into Iran. I think what they'll do is they'll try and have a propaganda war, and they'll try to, like they did with Syria. I mean, there were certain troops in there on the ground, and there were special forces in Syria for quite a while. But they lost the propaganda war. He won the propaganda war, and Putin knows just how important Syria is. I mean, Syria, they wanted Syria because there's a pipeline they want to build. And Assad had told them to fuck off. You're not coming through my country. And so that's when it all started. I remember our Steve, my cousin, who's an executive at BP, earns fucking millions of pounds a year. And when I saw him a couple of years ago, he was talking about that. He said, this is the pipeline that we need to get through, but we can't get it through in Syria. And we were talking about Turkey as well, because at that time, there were... where there was that fucking fake uprising in Turkey. Remember that one? Yeah, when Erdogan supposedly...
They're blaming Kurds and whatever, like they normally do.
They were blaming fucking lemons. So fucking, it's the propaganda war. And the problem is that the Americans are far better at just blowing shit up and throwing millions of pounds worth of bombs at fucking people's houses with children in, and schools and hospitals and things like that, than they are at propaganda, because it just don't work. The American propaganda just does not work. Not with the majority. Just think about it. You get to a certain point, and then you've got too much propaganda, like we had with Brexit, with all these Ramonas that were coming out with all this fear-mongering shit, and they were coming out with all this stuff. If you know, with Brexit, you've got to vote Labour, and they were found to be a minority, a complete minority. But I saw tons of that stuff. But they were a complete minority because of the general election result.
Yeah.
The Conservatives, who were going to deliver Brexit, won by a landslide. So they lost the propaganda war as well. So it's all about propaganda these days. It's not really about it's not really about war, because a war is where it's equal. You know, it's like me and you having a fight. That's like you're Israel and I'm fucking Palestine in my wheelchair with one leg, and you're coming at me with your fucking boxing gloves and a fucking catapult, and you fucking just like firing conkers at me constantly. You know, that's the way it is. Propaganda's the fucking that's the main war. And of course, there's going to be bombs dropped because they need to keep selling them and making them and selling them, making them and selling them.
Politically, for Trump, if he, I don't know, I think if he actually just went, fuck it, we're going in, I don't think he'd get a second term. But I think if he can keep it bubbling along, when it comes, because it is the end of this year, isn't it? They have the election start, doesn't it? I think it. What am I talking about?
No, what are we? 2016, were it, when Trump were elected?
Yeah, so it's got to be this year then. It's got to be end of this year.
Yeah. So it will be. Yeah, it will be an election year. Yeah. So but
so what I think they'll keep it doing is keep it bubbling along, and then he can then use it as his political whip, if you like, his bashing stick. Oh, look, you know, we're doing this in Iran, and we haven't gone to war, because we don't want war, and we don't want war. And then as soon as he gets his second term, bang, oh, look, there's been this false flag event, and they've done this, so we've got to go now. We can't have them doing this. And I think that's what they'll do. They'll wait till Trump's got his second term, and then just fucking go blatting straight in.
Well, yeah, that's quite possible. I mean, it's similar to what they did with what's his face, Bush. But
pretty much. Although he was never really president, was he?
Well, no. Well, fucking hell,
with Dick Cheney doing it all, really, wasn't it? But
when I was speaking to Rob last night, he said he watched a video of George Bush having been interviewed by somebody, where obviously after his presidency, and he said it was the most likable bloke you could ever fucking know. He were witty, he were concise.
Really?
Yeah, and I think he was just portraying that. That was just a character he were playing.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that's what it is. But what you've got to look back on, right? First of all, we know that war wins votes, especially in a place like America. They love the guns, they love the macho stuff. Good luck to them if they, you've seen fucking rednecks and shit like that, and it's worse than. So they'll fucking. They love their war. They grew up on 18. So they love the war and the bazookas and all that sort of stuff. Don't forget fucking 2000. Tony Blair. It weren't that. Fucking what? We're going to lose an election, and then something happened. I can't remember it were. I know it weren't Tony Blair, and I don't think it was George Bush, because I think George Bush was in his, he were in his first term, weren't he? It was just yeah, it was 2000. I think he stole that election, didn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
And then 2001 we had 9/11. But there was one where there was somebody who were in really fucking dire straits, and they had something happen, and then they fucking won an election. But yeah, but again, Americans love the war. You know that,
I think,
but just particularly as well, Trump supporters. Imagine that the mostly. I know I'm fucking stereotyping, and I don't mean to. I've not got anything against Trump supporters at all, and I've got no against Trump, but he's just playing the propaganda game, and it's just they love the war.
yeah.
They love the war. They love the macho stuff. They love the conflict. They love the flying the flag. And there's no wrong with that. If that's your bag, that's your bag.
I'm just trying to think when it was. It was definitely after 9/11, but it was before the new tower went up that I was last in New York. I want to say 2003, 2004, maybe. Something like that. So it was still all temporary fences, and I can remember being in the Reed Street bar, which is about 2.5 blocks up from where the Twin Towers still should be. Literally just round the corner, really. 5-minute walk, maybe. On Reed Street, and it's called the Reed Street Bar. And, doing what all best Englishmen do in New York, getting pissed. I was stood at the bar with a couple of guys from Chicago. And at that point, I'd never been to Chicago. I think New York was probably the only place in the States where I'd been at that point. I think it probably was. So this was a whole new experience for me. I'd literally got on a plane, got off, got a taxi into Manhattan. And then the first night, I find myself in this bar with all these American people, and I'm just thinking, well, life's an adventure. And these two guys from Chicago, I can remember them saying that they loved Bush because he kicks ass.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
He kicks ass.
And that is their programming and their indoctrination that they get. But it then goes to the far where all these people have got, the Stars and Stripes flag outside their house because they've indoctrinated their kids that much. They've allowed them to put on a uniform to go fight a fucking rich man's war. And the rich man won't go himself. He just wants to sell all these cattle that aren't even worth anything. That's how good the programming is.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to get your hat off to them. They've done a fucking good job of wrapping everybody up in knots. Well,
just have a look at. I think there were a meme, a photograph with some writing on it.
Yeah.
And it was about these Iranians that were celebrating. They were watching 9/11 as it happened in New York.
Oh yeah, and they're supposed to be. Yeah.
And they said there was anyway. Anybody who's done any research on 9/11 knows that were the dancing Israelis, and they were arrested and they were deported, and they went on Israeli TV and said that they were there to document the event. Right, so these were the dancing Israelis, not Iranians.
Israelis,
but it's been changed to Iranians.
No,
honestly, it's been changed to Iranians. And fucking Bush retweeted it. So now that's in people's heads. People see that for the first time. And it's an absolute fact. They were Israelis. They were arrested. They were deported back to Israel. And then they went on Israeli television and they said, yeah, we were there to document the event. That's what we were there for. So they knew, for fuck's sake. But again, propaganda turned it round turned one thing into another.
Yeah. I mean, the world really is run from Israel, and the bits that aren't is the bits they're busy bombing. And that really is it. The bits that are not run by the Israeli banksters or the families that are all intertwined into Israel. Nothing else matters to them, does it? Nothing else matters to them.
Well, it seems not. It seems not. It's just mind-boggling that they do this and just get away with it. And there's people like us scream. You know, you said to somebody, it's still go. Oh, I remember my father. Right, I once we were going to a football match. We got Man City away in Cup, and we went to Etihad Stadium. And we parked up and we got on a bus to go to the stadium. And we were talking and he says, he was talking about some trial that had been going on. Somebody who'd been out underground with a backpack, you know, an Asian geezer with a backpack, and he'd apparently got a bomb in it, but it had not gone off. Or, you know, something like, it had gone off somewhere else, but it showed you him on a bus.
Right.
Like, and when he turns around, there's this woman there with a baby, and he turns around so that the backpack's near the baby. All this fucking emotional shit they do. And I went, Father, for fuck's sake, it's not real. It's pretend. They're pretending, Dad. But they're not. I said, they are. It's a pretend thing. If you see some on TV, it's probably pretend. You know, it's mostly pretend, isn't it? On TV, it's mostly pretend. Right? It's a pretend vision. That's what it should be.
Yeah,
people on this and the pretend.
What is it? What did Rob call it last night? A tell lies vision.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's
because even the news that I don't know that is actually happening. What can I think of? I don't know. I ain't got a clue. A news item that, you know, you could look out of your window and see was true. That'll even have a spin on it somewhere. You know, about why it was done or who it was done to. You know, whether it's got the lesbian, gay, whatever letter you want to use, twist to it, or where they say, "Oh, we don't think terrorism's involved," or there'll be something in the script, that's supposed to get in here.
That's the thing even if they say it's not terrorist related, well, why say it's not terrorist related? You know, it's not
like saying
Greg's fucking fucking sausage roll.
Yeah, that man in the blue shirt was not wearing a red one. It's just. But if he actually said that, you'd think, why would you say that? But when people say and we don't think it's terrorist related, they go, oh.
I'm reminded that terrorism fucking happens. It's like that letter I got other week. That was just fucking last week, which I read out. Yeah. I mean that would terror. That would mine. There's no fucking use in it. Can't do all about it. There's no use in me knowing. But they wanted to tell me. It's a mind fuck. You know, they just
and it's also them making sure they've not got any liability.
Well, look, if I fucking drop dead, right, Danielle's not going to go, right, well, I think he dropped dead because of that thing that you put in his leg. Is she? She's not going to know. She's just going to think I've died because I've had a heart attack, or, you know, I've died because I've fucking bled out or something or other, whatever. But, you know, she's not going to say. So they could just keep it to themselves, investigate it, and then, you know, withdraw it. But, you know, investigate it yourself. We don't need to tell everybody, by the way, you've got a better chance of dying you in the next 2 to 5 years.
But the bit, I think the bit that really bugged me, mate, was that sort of news should not just come in an envelope. That sort of news should say, can you and your wife come to a meeting at the hospital, please?
Yeah. Or
that sort of news. Look, there's a good chance you're going to die in the next 2 to 5 years.
Well, not
because of something that we've put in your leg. Yeah, in the sort of news that should come in an envelope. That should come out of the words of a fully qualified physician. Sorry, who's had some responsibility for your care in the past. You know, it shouldn't be. The fact that it came in an envelope is disgusting.
But it's all propaganda. Everything that comes in an envelope is propaganda. If it's fucking, if it's a bill, it's propaganda. If it's junk mail, it's propaganda. We get these all the time. We're doing smart meters now. It's your time to book in, and then it changed. It went from, you are having a smart meter. It went from we're booking now to everybody, in your area. So if you want to get your smart meter in and everything, then you'll be all right. We'll come round. We'll suck you off while we're getting it done and everything. And then suddenly we get to a point and it's like, you have to have a fucking smart meter. Well, no, I don't have to have a fucking smart meter. This is just a fucking piece of paper. You're fucking sending me a piece of paper. You taking a piece of paper to a fucking fist fight with a cripple. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. The thing that I've seen on the TV, what was it? Oh, instead of being, it went from we're fitting smart meters, ring up and get yours. Then it was, thanks for having one fitted. You're part of the club of 12 million people. Fucking NLP, NLP, NLP. As soon as somebody wants to put you in a club, you're being NLP'd. Somebody is attacking your brain and trying to rewire it. But, thanks for being and thanks for doing this on the TV advert. And now it's gone to, we need everybody else to have one because otherwise we'll not know how much electricity is being fucking consumed. So everybody's got to have one for. Well, they fucking knew 50 years ago when I was a kid.
Well, they guess, didn't they? Fucking hell.
They had a fucking bill on a similar meter to what I've got in the cupboard outside. So, but now it's a case of, you've got to have a smart meter because otherwise we won't know how much electricity you've used and we won't know how much we're going to have to produce. Load of bollocks. They've fucking done all right for the past 50 odd years. It's just because they want the smart meter in. Then it's going to be. Then it's going to be. Here's your. For those of you who've yet to have one, here's your free internet. By the way, it's got to go through a smart meter. It's just all this clutching at straws to try and get everybody in there, and it's just like the next thing they do to make sure that everybody's captured.
Look. Well, I've remembered because I'm a cunt and I've got no fucking ink in my fucking pen, so I haven't been able to write it down because I refuse to use ballpoint pens. I've got a thing about fountain pens, so I'm collecting them. Right. But my pen that I use daily has got no fucking ink in it. So I want to say hello, good evening to Don Tellingpike, Neil, as I know him. We've been emailing back and forth today. I've seen a couple of emails today that I'd not seen before. One I sent to you. That's the guy that sent the email that I sent to you that I forwarded on to you today.
Oh yeah, that was tremendous, and thanks for that. I was.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make a point of just saying hello to you, Neil, and your clan, whoever's listening to us. A new being on Monday 120.
Although I have to say, at the end of that show, I did tell him, fuck off then. Off your fuck. Because I had enough by then, but yeah.
Do you know what? I can't even recall it.
No, you can't. I think you were on far too many painkillers that week, mate.
I just can't. You were telling me about it today, and I'm thinking, I can't fucking remember this. I can't remember.
Yeah, if anybody can remember the show where we had the chap on from Scotland, and he just seemed to have a lot of bees in his bonnet about me. But anyway, that was the subject of an email that Jason's forwarded on to me, which was nice to read. So for those of you that sent that, thank you.
Yes, it was Don Tellingpike in the chat room.
Yeah.
So just in case, he's a Sheffield lad, so I've told him if he wants, come up for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Just pop in for a cup of tea.
Yeah,
One day I'm
not for
going to
8
get
hours.
stabbed to death. Fuck, aren't I? I'm going to get stabbed to death by somebody coming up to my house. I've had so far I think I've had two listeners since I've been on my own that have actually been to my house. One who came on her mobility scooter from Woodhouse.
Really?
Really, yeah. And
That's a fair old trek.
I know, she charged it up a bit. Her mother lives around here, so she'd gone to her mother's for an hour to charge it up a bit. Then she came to mine. Then she was going back to her mother's to charge it up, and then she was going back. So
Wow.
I hope she still listens. I don't think I've seen anything of her for a while. She was somebody that very interesting. She gave me a really interesting document that I really. It goes completely above my head, but I'm sure that somebody would be able to make something of it. But yeah, it's a really thick book. So I hope she still listens, and if you do, you're all right. Neuro Paradise. Bueller was so skeptical from the start, lol. I don't know what that means. Doc, Tony, fucking Doc. You know what, Tony? Can you put your name Tony instead of that Doc? Because you know what? I keep trying to wipe it off my fucking screen. I keep going like, Oh, by the way, I've got 2 questions for you, Aid, and I want answers to this. First one, right? How come dog gauze doesn't smell, but human gauze does? Because you remember, you'll lick your face, they'll lick your face, and it might be wet, and you'll wipe it off, but it doesn't stink. But remember when your mother used to spit on a fucking hanky and wipe it off? It fucking stunk, didn't it? So how come that, dogs get clean gauze? Is it because they do more licking? Perhaps we should do more licking to get clean gauze. And second one was, why are there no female clowns?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, you see. I thought about that, other day. I thought about that. I was watching this thing on. You've just seen the same comment as I've seen, haven't you?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, you won't be able to read it anyway, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were I saying?
Oh, I don't know.
I were on about something.
Oh, female clowns.
Oh yeah, female clowns. I was watching this program, right? And it were like it were these late night things. I had a few joints and I just sat there in a haze and telly's on. And I watched this one called what were it called? Something like, I don't know, fucking Skint in Benidorm or.
Oh yeah.
Something like that, but it was about these people, and it went to these, these people that go and live on these caravan parks in Ben. Looks fucking ace, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like 50 grand's worth, yeah.
Yeah, they've got these caravans, and then you get these little caravans, but then they put like netting, like a great big massive, what's it called, on the side of a tent,
like a big awning thing.
Awning, that's it. You get these great big awnings which like double as rooms. So I was watching that. And there were these 2 drag queens, right? And I thought to myself, there were these 2 drag queens, and they've got like that fucking that look like a clown. This is what made me think, why is there no fucking female clown? But they had all this makeup on. And I thought to myself, you're going out on stage, really, women, what a portrayal this is of women. They should be up in arms. Drag queens should be banned. Well, they should be, shouldn't they? Well, because they're making they're making out they're sort of saying that women wear loads of fucking stupid makeup.
Do you know what I thought the other day? There was a program on. It was over Christmas, and it was part. I'll have been at my son's. And part of this program was on about the black and white minstrel show. And the whole sort of take on it was, no, it wasn't. It was about Lenny Henry. Because when Lenny first started, He did the Opportunity Knocks, or was it New Faces? Opportunity Knocks, I think it was, wasn't it? And he did his impressions and whatever, and then he ended up as a black guy working on the Black and White Minstrel Show.
All right. Okay.
And of course, most of the men on the Black and White Minstrel Show, or all of them as far as I know, other than Lenny Henry, were all white guys that had been blacked up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember as a kid, but I do, on a Saturday night, the Black and White Minstrel Show. And of course, then you've got an hour's worth of this very mediocre, middle of the road, shite singing and dancing by these blokes pretending to be black. But I think the whole sort of twist to it was, how politically incorrect is that today? Well, I mean, political correctness is just really, what is it Ike said? The sheep not even needing a sheepdog or a shepherd to keep themselves in check. But, you think to yourself, well, Black and White Minstrel and that was all right 40 years ago. So in 40 years' time, what are they going to say about drag queens and things like that? Is it going to go again full circle? What's going to be the political agenda? Because it's completely different to what it used to be. But it's where something that's similar, like a drag queen, isn't that far different from, putting white guys blacked up. It's a different label, yeah. And I'm not one for labels. I don't care what colour, religion, or whatever you want to use as a label. It doesn't really interest me. It's a different label, but the thing's the same. They've got being publicly broadcast. What in 40 years' time, what are two guys like me and you going to be sat talking about? Are they going to say, oh, could you remember when we were young and they used to put them black and white men on telly?
The thing about Lenny Henry is he contributed to when I see him and he talks about these race and how it's portrayed and how it were then and how bad it were and everything, but he will party to that, right? So he should be proud of it.
Oh yeah, because he was one of the people who actually made it all right for a real black guy to be on the telly, but I think part of it was very tongue-in-cheek, and at the time he probably didn't realise initially that he was the butt of their joke.
I think he did.
He was good and turned it round and made sure that he came out winning.
That's the thing. He knew he was the butt of their joke, because I remember seeing a clip and he was on fucking blankety blank. Remember that one?
Oh, that's a long time ago. Yeah.
Blankety blank. Right. He was on blankety blank. I don't know the rest of the people were on here. Probably someone like fucking Jilly Cooper or other people like from that time that were well known but not that well known, and that you won't remember now. Anyway, we're on here, and I think it was Terry Wogan who were doing it at that time, and he played up to. This is for example, this right. The thing he was the first on his his card. It used to be like AD sat in front of his TV watching pornography. He's having a blank. Oh, he's gone. Oh, AD's gone. I don't know what happened with there. AD's gone. Oh, he's back. Oh, I can continue with blankety blank story. I really love it. It's really good. Well, welcome to Raconteurs News. We are on a new system tonight. You can see we've got our logo in the top corner and not the StreamYard logo. That's because we've been able to upgrade, and thanks to the people that donated to that. Again, and I'll stop saying it now because I don't want to seem weird. There we go. Hello. Good man.
Live comments thing disappeared. So I clicked the button, and when I actually went to click it, it sent me to some login page and kicked me off the call.
Yeah, right. That's
so
weird.
don't press that. Well, you yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's on blankety blank. And you know what questions were? You know, AD's sat in front of his TV, he's watching pornography, and he's having a blank, right?
Yeah.
That's what they were. Anyway, first line of this question were, I'll do it in my best Terry Wogan impression. I'm not as good as Richie Allen at this, but, you know, bear in mind, I'm not Irish. And Terry Wogan's got his thing, and he says, Terence!
You know when you said you're not very good at Terry Wogan?
So I told you, didn't I? I might look like Richie Allen, but I ain't got his accent.
This is not the Richie Allen show, right? Go on then.
No, but that's what he used to do, didn't it? That were Wogan's thing. He'd go, he'd do pauses. Terence was in the jungle, and as he said that, up jumps what's his face?
Lenny
Henry. Up jumps, wow, and he were all laughing at him. You were just like, really weird. Have a look for it. Lenny Henry on Blankety Blanket, probably on YouTube, you'll find it. Just look at his reaction, and then you say to me, how can he say anything? Nice packy accent, Jace, according to Tony. Thanks. I thought he was Welsh. He was more Welsh.
Oh, do you know, for a minute, I thought Terry Wogan had been born in Mumbai.
Yeah, he used to. I tell you what, I did like. I did like his commentary at Eurovision. I used to love that. Watching Eurovision.
So
it was so brilliant. Yeah,
just dry.
Tech piss, proper tech piss.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so, but that was my sort of way of thinking when I, you know, with what's politically correct at the minute, I think it'll just gradually change, because what they wanting isn't a state that we had 40 years ago where it was all right to put the black and white minstrels on telly. They want a thing where there are that many labels that people can have, and that many categories and subcategories and boxes and pigeonholes, and that they can put us all in, because then we're easy to deal with.
Oh yeah. Like, you know, you're a big fat gay. That's your pigeonhole. Well, not gay, but you know, you could go in the index.
I was just going to say, thank you. Yeah.
You want to go in the gay pigeonhole because it's going to be tidier, isn't it?
Oh my word! What am I going to do with you? I think what I'm trying to do is sort of say that, you know, things that were politically correct 40 years ago and are now not. How wrong is it? Is it our, you know, what perception is it that we've got about this? But it's like they use the political correctness is just it's a stick that we all bash ourselves with to keep us ourselves in order, because it just seems mad to me. Just seems bonkers to me. But you know, because labels are not relevant yet. People just want more and more and more labels, and when they say, "Oh no, I don't use a label like Mr. or Mrs." Sorry, what do you? Well, I'm non-something. I'm like, what the fuck? Still a fucking label. You're somebody who stood in a body. Don't matter what fucking label you want, it's irrelevant. Or it should be irrelevant. But that's how good the programming is. Because people just want a label. And then they want to tell everybody about their label. Well, put it all over social media.
I just want to clarify what I was saying before, because we do have people, black listeners, and we have black guests. And I know that sometimes, I know perhaps there's one in the chat, one guy in the chat room at least tonight, Owen. And I just want to clarify, when I say that he shouldn't be condemning the way that, you know, race was perceived back in the 70s, because we wouldn't. It's something we don't do now.
Cool.
Some of that's not done now, and it's some of that's been taken to such a degree that you can't really do anything that's funny or anything at all, particularly funny.
Well, you can if you're taking the piss out of
just a minute.
straight white people.
What my point was is that Lenny Henry should be proud of the work that he did back then, even though he was playing along to it, because that was the culture at the time.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't look back on that with fondness, then he's going to get like the opposite of what they call white shame. You know, he's going to be ashamed of something that he did.
No, I think he's and he does an awful lot for charity. No, he's got foundations and all sorts that he supports.
Listen, I don't know the guy. I just don't know. I know he's not funny. The point I was trying to make is that he should be proud of that work that he did and not try to. Because you get these programs and like it was okay in the 70s and they show you think you'd never fucking do that now. But he were part of that, and he should be proud of that, being part of that. And
I think it was like a double bluff, because they thought they were taking the piss out of him, and secretly he must have been thinking, "Yeah, you think you've got the upper hand, but once I've got my feet under the table," and which is exactly what he did, isn't it? So,
well, yeah, he run blankety blank, for God's sake. Fucking hell, that were usually Faith Brown's fucking territory, weren't it? You're talking big time, aren't you? Fucking hell,
Faith Brown.
Faith Brown, or fucking what's his name? What was it? Lenny. Oh God. Kenny Lynch.
Yeah, Kenny. Do you know? You said Lenny, and I'm thinking half caste guy, or is he black? Little bushy hair. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Kenny Lynch.
Yeah, Kenny Lynch. Because I remember Kenny Lynch because when I was stopping at my grandmother's in the 80s. Now my grandmother had got schizophrenia. She was completely fucking stark bonkers. She used to fucking get us out of bed in the middle of the night to fucking make us have a cold bath because somebody had told her we got fucking rickets or fucking creepy crawlies all over us. So that was sort of thing we were talking about. Anyway, we were sat on a Saturday night, and there's me and my two cousins and my grandmother on settee, and Game for a Laugh were on. Remember that?
I do.
With Jeremy Beadle and Jeremy and Kenny Lynch were on it. Right, and as they introduced him, here we got him who's going to do Going for Gold, and then we're going to get Jeremy Beadle, and
tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be nervous.
They'd be waving like this,
and
all that sort of thing, and then like, come on, Kenny Lynch comes on like that, and my grandmother just went at telly. We were all in. What were they all about? We didn't even realise. We didn't make the connection because he was black then. But we do.
That why?
Oh yeah. She was God. Schizophrenic.
That wouldn't even cross my mind.
Proper fucking. They get schizophrenics. Get proper racist, man. They hate everything. Fucking everything.
I think with particularly older women, and I don't mean 50s and 60s. I mean sort of late, sort of 70s onwards or 8. There comes a point in a woman's life where she doesn't even consider that what she might say might be inappropriate. It just fucking flows out of them. And they can say things like, I didn't realise we were still importing black nurses. Top of the voice in a bloody A&E unit where, a lot of the women are black who are working in there. And they just... And it wasn't only my ex-mother-in-law that was like it. And I mean, I don't even know. I haven't spoken to her for about 3 years, and I sincerely hope she's very, very well. But there seems to be an age where women get to where they just say whatever. And it doesn't matter what the subject is, they'll just come out with it and just say it.
It's still ingrained in people. Racism. Look, that point you were making. When I was in hospital, I don't know. I think it was when I had the first operation, the first 2 operations on my leg. I was in hospital, and there was a guy opposite me, um, and he just says, he said something to me, and I said something back to him, and then he says, "Oh, it's all right in here." He says, "Apart from niggers at night time, we're crap." And I like that. That were it. I didn't talk to him again. I didn't make a fucking kerfuffle about it. I just thought, well, that's it. I'm not going to talk to you again. And it's still ingrained in people, but it's because they're trying to fucking bash it and knock it out of people with all this fucking stuff on TV where they're kicking off at 3:01 and then take a minute to think about. They're just bashing everything. They're just bashing this. Let's kick racism out. There's idiots, there's cunts, there's knobheads. They're always going to do it. And if
I remember being on who was I working for? I think I was probably, as I left one company and went to work for, I think it was probably the Woolwich. And we were down, yes, it would have been, because we were down in Gravesend, Pocahontas country, on training, like a week of training courses. And we were staying overnight in this hotel. And of course, there's like a dozen of you who are all on this induction course, which is just basically telling you the Woolwich's way of doing what we did, which is just like, a remake of the same thing. But of course, you got to have a training course. And while you're sort of at lunch and everything, after a couple of days, you get obviously talking to the other people. And there was a girl there, and she said, well, officially, I'm still working for my old employer. And I'm thinking, well, how have you managed to get? Oh, well, I've put in this claim, Right. Anyway, the bottom line was, it took me about 20 minutes to work out that she'd put a claim in against this guy who was employing it. Not a big company, a one-man band. And she'd found a way of screwing him over. So she'd got this big court thing going through, how she'd managed to get all this money out of him. She was going to ruin this guy. And I'm sat there listening to this thinking, what kind of crook is she? Officially, she's still working for this guy. She's also now working for the Woolwich. She's on this training course, and she's telling me how she's busy fucking this guy over for a completely false claim. And then she went, and if that fails, I've always got this. And she's tapping her cheek, and I'm like, always got this? I don't know what you mean. This. And I went, what's this? And then it dawned on me, this girl's like Indian or Pakistani or whatever.
She was pointing to her skin.
And she was pointing to her skin. So at no point all the way through that did the colour of her skin or a religion or anything even cross my mind in this story. But right at the end, she then went, and of course, if all that fails, and admitting to me that she's trying to screw him over, I've always got the colour of my skin and I'm back. That's like me fucking Joker that I can play at the end if I lose the rest of the card game. Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, like, this wankers are all races, mate. Fucking hell, people, con men, con women, fucking gold diggers, whatever you want to call them. I've got to admit, though, I didn't really hear most of that story, but I'm sure the listeners really liked it. I know it ended up with somebody. Yeah, I did hear most of it. Sorry.
Was that just because you shut off and got bored?
No, it's because I was skinning up.
Oh right, okay.
I was skinning up. I'm trying to like,
I thought that was your way of saying, "Hey, for fuck's sake, man, you're just boring."
we are Webby's put. We are all Shiads of Brown. It depends.
It's true. Yeah.
On millennial content. Yeah, well, we are, aren't we? I'm not fucking white, am I? Fucking white. I'm not. I'm off white.
I just.
You know what? If you were white, if you were fucking completely white, right? You'd fucking. I think people would be really, really worried about your health.
I'll tell you what, though, and this is a culture thing. As you know, I like going to Southeast Asia. And first thing that notice when you get there, other than fucking hell it's hot, is not just the culture because of religion, but the whole culture is completely different. But the first thing that you see is a big government poster. When I say poster, I mean a fucking billboard inside, huge, and it says on it, Buddha is not for decoration. And that's inside the airport. In other words, we can all go down to TK Maxx and all these buddies, and everybody seems to have a fucking Buddha, even though they're not Buddhist. Wherever you go, people have got Buddhas.
I haven't seen any.
I think it was fucking Poundland with 20 shipping containers full.
Have you got different Buddhas to me?
Yeah. No.
You. Oh, you're my Buddha from another mother.
Right. But the second thing that you see is skin whitening. Adverts. This is still while you're in the airport. Skin whitening. Because
so what are you saying?
Certainly the Japanese.
White skin?
No, certainly the Japanese, but definitely Thai people. I don't think so much Cambodians, but Vietnamese as well. What they, if they get a suntan, that implies to everybody else that they're very poor and they must work outside. Whereas if they've got a very pale skin, that implies that, they're clearly very rich, very intelligent, because they earn enough and they work inside.
They earn enough to go to England where there's no fucking sun at all.
Yeah. So whereas us, we think, all right, we'll get a suntan, it'll look like I've been on holiday, I'll look and feel great, and we'll go stand underneath the electric sunbed thing. You'd never get a sunbed business over there, mate, because they all want to be white. And that's how ridiculous
weird, that's
color,
weird, isn't it?
creed, race, and all that is. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
It is, man. It is. Well, it is.
It's like me not wanting to talk to you because you've got a fucking brown shirt on or whatever. And you say, no, I fucking don't like your yellow shirt. I'm never talking to you again, you yellow bastard.
Yeah, well, it's like me, not wanting to talk to you again because one of the ladies from Thailand phoned me up and told me you were a shit fuck.
Which may or may not be true.
May or may, but I think
there's ladies who'd like to find out. No.
I'd like to. I'd just like to say that was the point where we got kicked off Facebook, probably.
Oh right, okay.
No, who gives a fuck, man?
I forgot about that. Yeah, well, I can only be me, can't I? Yes. So,
listen, Uni Black Sister Taylor, he said to me earlier on. What did he say? Oh, he said, "Can I come on?"
As long as we ain't got to look up Taylor's nose.
Whoa, no. I'll tell you for why. I'm going on his show tomorrow night at 9:30. So if you're about, why don't you come on with him? He's going to do a show. We could be his first guest. Well, we are going to be I'm going to be his first guest at least. If you want to come on, it's on at 9:30. We're going to just go do an hour.
Need to put a thingy in the doofer. Uni Black Sister, you ought to be putting some in the chat room, telling everybody what it is, where they have to go, what they have to do, and who's going to be on it. Do it now. Yeah,
tell everybody. We'll be on it. We'll come on for you. We'll do an hour with you. We'll let you ask us questions.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get some very good questions. What do you reckon he's going to ask us? Do you think he'll ask us what like that question Andy asked? When Gary Heseltine on, and I took piss out of him. I said, I took piss out of Andy. We were Gary Heseltine, UFO ex-policeman guy, and we were. I said to Andy, I said on one of the shows, I said, don't you remember when you asked Gary Heseltine? I think you were running out of questions. You asked Gary Heseltine what his favourite colour UFO were. He hadn't, but he fucking thought he had.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Where is it? Eve, was it? What's? Oh yes, new beans orange as well. Yeah, I'm just looking at this thing. Yeah, you need. If you tell us, you need where and where we. Yeah, where you can people because we don't want to just talk to you.
Somebody's put there. What's a fanny fart? What? Was
What?
that for Taylor's benefit? I mean, I know what one is, but it was that for Taylor's benefit. Anyway.
Yeah, Dinny asks the best questions. It's the Irish, you see. You can always demand the Irish are going to are always going to come up with the best questions. What's a fanny fart? Well, I don't know. I don't know what one is. You don't know. Do you know what? Is it like when you're taking your meat out?
Oh. We need to talk about something else now.
Okay, we'll do that then.
Okay.
We'll do that then. Let's. Oh,
What?
There's some right fucking scummy cunts in there. Chinese student dies after living on pennies a day. Fucking hell. See, that's just that's not. It's not a new story. It's a. Oh, look at how fucking bad it is for everyone else. Think you sound lucky. Don't people say that, don't they? You think you sound lucky you could live with so and so. Yeah, I could. But, I'm getting fucking, due to me being conditioned to the standard of living that I've got, I'm still getting fucked.
Yeah.
You don't fucking degrade that, but that's all that is. Chinese student dies after living on pennies a day. That's emotion. That's all it is. It's just to get your emotions. Then we've got, I'm going to call it entertainment, about this Harry and Meghan thing. Because there's about 2 or 3 different stories on there about.
Well, just in case somebody missed what point I made last night. Actually, I don't think I gave it much.
Hang on. Just let me. This has got to be the most inane. This is the headline. Okay. My boyfriend dumped me, but how do I tell my cat?
Oh, God.
That's on the BBC. Your money, ladies and gentlemen, if you're paying a TV license fee, your money, that, and then there's that fucking. Well, let's get that up. I'll get that up. You go on. You were going to say something. You were saying something. I'll just get up that pigeon English thing and see what we can do with that. It should be funny. It'll remind us of Lenny Henry in '70s.
Oh dear.
Go on. You were saying something.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, no. When I was on about Harry Hewitt, so just very slowly, a lot of people believe that obviously, is it Major James Hewitt or what was he? Whatever he was, is actually Harry's father. And also in that, I mentioned that she wasn't a Spencer, and that there's every chance she's a Goldsmith. Well, if you look at, was it Jemima? Was Diana's best mate, and they always sat together. And every photo you look at, if you like swap the hairs over, you think, well, it's the same woman. They're like look so much alike. They've got to be sisters. And of course, then there was the documentation about Diana's mother having relations with the Goldsmiths and whatever. So that's what I kind of got to last night. If anybody missed it, I was saying Harry Hewitt. Your mum wasn't really a Spencer. So even if there was any link through royalty that way, there wasn't, because she wasn't. And I think, when there was Meghan thing and Harry, it's just, I don't know. I think it's something to make everybody forget about other stuff that's going on. And anybody that's got any sense shouldn't really give a fucking toss. about Harry and Meghan. It's just some kind of smokescreen, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be, but it might be real. It might be Harry just thinking, right, I'm getting out of here. This Andrew thing's just the last bit, straw that broke the camel's back. It's probably
because he's not. If he's not a blood relative, he's lucky enough that he ain't got the, the pedo gene.
And he's probably met some at Rothschild's. I mean, there's a photograph of one at Rothschild's. And he's pointing and poking Prince Charles in chest. And he says, it says, you're a Rothschild when you're poking Prince Charles like a bitch.
Yeah.
And that's what he were doing.
Yeah.
So it's them that's in charge. But if you, don't get, what's his face on that? Jesus. No, not Jesus. Fucking hell. I forgot about him. Rob. Don't get Rob on about that. He'll tell you. He'll tell you about. I think we could probably have done about 7 hours last night. Are you going to put them? Are you going to put them, Taylor? Are you going to put the any links up or anything so that people know where to come for the?
How long we got? 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Why don't we let Taylor come on so he can tell everybody what he's doing, where they can go, where they can find it.
All right, I'll do that. All right, I'll do it.
But he's got a 10-minute time limit. How's that? Because we don't want to talk about anything that we might talk about tomorrow, or you might talk about tomorrow.
I'm trying to fucking find his fucking email. I don't know where his email is. I don't know what his email is. Tell what your email is again, please, Uni. I think it's I know what it is. It's Chimpy Summit. Yeah, that's the fucking one. So Taylor's doing his show tomorrow night. Are you going to come on or what, Aid?
Day is it? Wednesday. Depends if I end up going up to see my mother or not. If I don't, then yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, I've put it in for your. I've sent him an email, so we might get Taylor. He's going to tell us about his show.
I love how quiet and subdued Webby is when he's in chat room. For fuck's sake!
For fuck's sake!
Love it.
Good
is he coming on then or what?
Yeah, he'll be coming on. I've sent him an email, so I've sent you an email, man.
Just click on the thing.
He knows that he's been on before. And can we not see up your nose? I don't want to see up his nose.
No, that's right. We need
I know Webby don't want to see up his nose. Webby's mentioned it before. It used to give him nightmares. Webby used to go to sleep after we'd done a show with Taylor, and he'd have nightmares about falling down 2 virgin crevices. It's just.
Is he there yet?
He's not here yet, no. He'll get here eventually. He's American. What can you do?
Now?
George W.
Yeah.
George W. I think he's not from there, is he? He's from Washington. What's his face?
Washington State. Yeah. That's if anybody wants to know where Washington State is, that's the fucking cold bit.
Well, so we live in Washington State, do we?
Who? Us?
A fucking cold bit. Did you see it yesterday? Stoning at fucking tea time. They were like coming down. Our satellite dish won't work.
Really? Have you still got one of them satellite dishes?
We've got a satellite dish here. Oh, here we go. Here he goes. Have I got him?
Come on then, Taylor.
Taylor, just make sure we're not looking up your nose. And can we have your face in view, please? You can't be ashamed of yourself. You are what you are, man. Love yourself. Then you'll find somebody else to love you as well.
Morning,
man.
Well, it's right now. It's 1:45 in the afternoon for me.
Okay, right.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, that's morning for me.
Tell us what you're doing, when you're doing it, where people can find it, and how we can watch it.
Well, I tried posting a link in the chat, but YouTube's fucking bitch asses keep deleting it for some reason. As if I'm, you know, when you try to go to a live stream and you're blocked and you type a message, but it disappears instantly. That's what's happening for me. It's the same thing if I try to link my Gmail. I try to do the same thing for super leads when I try to link in my Gmail before, and that's why I was telling you, Jason, before, and I kind of pissed off the super.
Sorry, I muted your mic by accident. I'm trying to find a way to turn you up. So if you could get a bit closer.
Can you get any closer to your microphone?
There we go.
You're ruining this perspective. Look, we've got two heads that are like, handsome and almost on the same level, and then you've got you right up there. You're like beating down on us like a Zeus. As if you're like going to throw some electric.
Never mind all that. Right, come on. Tell us where can people go to find you then?
Well, I'm gonna try to stream through StreamYard onto my YouTube channel if it's possible, but I need to do it from my laptop or my little brother's laptop. And the problem is that I can't access it through my phone, so I'm gonna have to do it through there. And I'm gonna be doing it through StreamYard, and basically what you guys are doing right now, except without without the orange names and the Facebook edition and all that. And it's gonna be at around, I believe, it was 1:30 my time, which is about
9:30.
9:30 for us, yeah.
Yes, so because you guys are 8 hours ahead of me, I believe.
Well, if it's 1:30 where you are, it's 9. Oh, sorry, if it's 1, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
15 minutes ago tomorrow.
Yes, and I'm gonna try to be a decent host and not be a completely awkward American like I always am.
Yeah, you're all right, mate. Listen, you're doing something, aren't you? Which we like to see. We like to support people that have supported us. So we don't mind coming on your first show. You're just gonna have to have some. Can you have the questions written up beforehand and delivered to our house?
We're not just asking stuff.
No, not just stuff. No,
you pick the subject if you want, whatever. Yeah, whatever. We'll see how it goes. But
let's not be like, hey, how's the weather today down there?
How's the weather? Why do you want to talk about the weather? Do you not know that I can go to two customers right next door to each other? Hello, Mrs. Smith. Oh, it's cold today, isn't it? And you go next door. Hello, Mrs. Brown. Don't you think it's a bit warmer today?
Oh my God, that's exactly how I am with my mom. She thinks whenever she thinks it's cold, I'm like, it's not cold.
No, my point is, when the weather is like it is in England, only the people who think somehow they might be able to do something about it by fucking whinging and moaning talk about it. The rest of us just don't give a fuck.
You've got it completely fucking. The reason why is because weather is sexy, and I can prove it. Weather is sexy. Think about it. Take that, all sat in the rain, singing "All I Do Each Night Is Pray" with the shirts like undone and all that, and it's rain's running down the torsos and the bodies, and that's sexy, right? Snow is sexy. Snow is sexy. Think about it. George Michael, that thing he did at Christmas last Christmas. Yeah, and they're all in that place. Wouldn't you like to be in a log cabin with loads of birds? Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit fucking wasted on him, really, wasn't it?
Exactly. Well, yeah, of course it was. More for us. That's what I mean. It's sexy. What about fucking someone bird walking down the street, right? And it's windy. Wind blows the skirt up. Sexy, right? This is what I'm saying. What happens when it gets when it gets warm? You're almost crashing your car, aren't you? Nearly every 2 minutes if you're in the right place. And yes, exactly. That's what I mean. So weather is sexy. That's why people talk about it all the time. And when someone says, "I like it rainy," what they mean is they take that video. They're like, men, young boys in the rain with their torsos out and the shirts on, and all I do each night is pray, and that. See, and then it goes to sunny. So they use two kinds of weather in one single video to prove to project sexiness. Listen, I think it's right. I think I can't see a fucking hole in that. If anyone can pick a hole in that, then please do.
Fog.
And come on Taylor's show tomorrow.
Fog.
Yeah.
Fog's sexy. Of course it's sexy.
What would you do in fog that's sexy, you knobhead?
Well, it means it encloses you, so like you feel like nobody can see you. So if you like, making love to a beautiful woman, or you're walking, or you're having a nice little sort of just a walk, and you want to stop and have a kiss and everything, nobody can see you. It's like a blanket around you. It's like it's sexy, man. It's a sexy blanket.
Okay. So, Taylor, we were just... So, you're going to be doing a show tomorrow with Jason. You've got your questions.
Yeah, well, I still need to finalize exactly which ones I'm going to be asking, like, because I don't want to just be sitting and be like, I don't want to sound like a complete amateur, even though I really am.
It doesn't matter. No, the point is you're doing something, and there'll be people who listen to you who don't listen to us.
Have you got your headset?
And that's good.
Have you got your headset? It's just that we just can't. You're really, really muffled.
Yeah, I have a headset, and I'm gonna try to put it in if I can. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not, because
That's what she said.
ear jack kind of thing. You plug it into like the little hole on the phone or the computer or whatever. I'm not sure if it'll work.
Right. Well, usually you're a lot clearer than that. Have you got your hand on a microphone or something?
No, I'm using a tablet instead of my phone.
Right. Okay. Okay. It's just that people
you sound better on your phone.
Yeah, you do sound a lot better on your phone.
I'll use that next time instead of this, because this is and plus this is just too big. Like, it's hard to keep it.
Have you? What are you going to use? Are you going to use StreamYard?
Yeah, StreamYard. Basically, what you guys are doing right now.
Have you tested it?
Yeah. I think I have a video on YouTube. I have a video on YouTube of me testing it, and I was able to have the camera, the mic, and everything ready. I haven't actually done a long show, like an actual thing that's more than like 20 seconds. So.
But you're going to be recording your shows and leaving them up on your YouTube, yeah? So, because of the time difference, people may or may not listen live. What's your YouTube channel called?
Uni Black Sister, the same one that I've been typing, that I used to type in the comments.
Right, okay, so everybody knows Uni Black Sister, that's where they can get you. Cool. Excellent. What they ought to do, you see, is go onto your thing now, subscribe, and then when it comes up, it'll go bling, and it'll tell everybody that you're live tomorrow.
Yeah, just if you look at my channel, just please ignore all the stupid videos that I made. I've made a bunch of stupid videos in the past that I kind of regret making, but you know what? I'm too lazy to delete them because I'm a lazy
mate. Nobody's going to look at them. Nobody's going to watch them. I promise you.
No.
No, yeah. Nobody's going to watch them. You might watch your show tomorrow. A few people might.
Yeah, but the good thing is, if people actually go on and subscribe to you now and ding the belly thingy, when you do go live, it'll tell them, and that's it. And if not, if they can listen later, because it'll still be there. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Listen, if anybody wants to, please. Sorry, Ugandan knuckles. It sounds like one of the fucking characters off Only Fools and Horses. You remember the Ugandan Morris? Who were one of them? UK bought some stuff off Ugandan Morris and sunglasses Ron.
Is like that or Dancing Israelis?
Yeah, that's the one.
You said they're calling them Iranians now or whatever.
Yeah, just what Jason was saying earlier. Yeah, that's all kind of just shows you how they use this bullshit.
I didn't even know that they did that, honestly, because I usually don't pay attention to stupid mainstream nonsense. But yeah. Wait, didn't you say like put it on Twitter or something?
Can't hear you.
I said, didn't you say that Bush put it on Twitter or something?
Yeah, you said that, Jason. He retweeted
Yeah,
it.
no,
Didn't
Trump
he?
put it on. He retweeted it. Apparently, I
Yeah.
don't know if he's deleted it, but he retweeted it. You know, it's part of a propaganda thing. But you know, he's retweeted it. Millions of people have seen it, and now a lot of them, perhaps the majority, think that they were Iranian. You know, it's just part of the propaganda, getting the people behind it, getting them so that they're not going to kick up a stink if something kicks off in Iran.
Do you know, I
So
was thinking the first time the propaganda thing was really part of my life. And I think it's got to be the Falklands.
oh yeah,
You know, I can remember everybody wearing little pin badges, you know, F off Argentina and all this stuff. And then when it was first on the news, I remember the newscaster, and I can't remember which one it was, and she said, contrary to people believe, many English people believing that the Falklands Islands are somewhere off Scotland, and then they show this map and go, no, they're, what is it, 12,000 miles away in Argentina or whatever it is.
yeah.
You know, and you're like, what? And I think that was the first time that propaganda, as I now look back on it, was really part of. It was the first big thing, if you like, that was part of my life rather than something I'd read about or something told me about an history thing. Because, of course, the Second World War and everything, to me, it wasn't real because I wasn't here. But the Argentina thing, you know, and the Falklands and all that lot, that was. And I think that's the first time the propaganda machine was instilled into me. And looking back on it, I now recognise that's what it was. But I didn't at the time. But you don't, do you?
Oh,
No,
it's
no, of course not.
like Hitler and stuff.
You what, mate? Sorry?
It said it was when you were first learning about Hitler and the Nazis and stuff.
No, that's the time when really when I now look back, you know, the Nazis and Hitler and that was something they told us about in school.
Oh, yeah.
But so the propaganda was the history book, if you like. Whereas for me, because of my age, the Falklands War was the first bit of live propaganda or propaganda that was going on at the same time as the subject. Was the first time that had been part of my life. And looking back on it, you realise how much of it was just, you know, a crock of shit. I mean the British Commonwealth, once it started to fall apart and people were leaving it, all that happened was the same families took over financially, and that's what the City of London is. So as the Commonwealth, if it started to fall apart, if you like, people were leaving, countries were leaving, and that's why we ended up with
Country leave. It's fucking stay as it is.
Yeah, you know what? But it's like all this political bollocks they used to say. Oh, it's part of the Commonwealth, darling. And so all that really happened was, instead of us being in charge of it physically, or us, fucking great. It's great to be English, isn't it? The wankers of the world. I've lost where I was now. No, I haven't.
Yeah, the wankers of the world. Listen, Taylor, I just want to mention to you, I've just invited Webby onto the show with us tomorrow night. Onto your show. Sorry. I hope you don't mind. He might turn it down. He probably will turn it down. He's bigger than that now. You know.
So what we're saying about the that was the first time that the propaganda that I was absorbing was actually going on at the time. That was the one for me. That was, and it's all about this perspective, isn't it? You know, we all can only be affected by the things that we've either seen or we've heard, or things that have been repeated to us.
Yeah, because when you're a child, you're extremely what's the word I'm looking for? naive, and
Yeah.
you're very easily influenced.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time when 9/11 happened, that would probably be my first one. But at the time, I was so poor, I didn't have a television. I didn't get one until like I was around years later. So I didn't even get to experience 9/11 live.
Wow.
I can confirm that Webby will be joining us on your show. I hope you don't mind. His fee we'll discuss afterwards. Okay. Yeah, Webby's coming on tomorrow night. So listen, people, find out where Ugandan Knuckles, or Taylor as we know him, Taylor
Black Sister, go to his YouTube and subscribe to it right now.
Yeah, go on. And oh, by the way,
not tomorrow, because it'll be shit tomorrow, because Jason and Webby and me will be on it. But the week after, he'll probably have somebody decent on.
Yeah, you might do. I was just going to say as well, people, if you don't mind giving us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, if you think we're crap, as long as we know, that'd be nice. And also subscribe. I've noticed as subscribers, if you're not a subscriber, just subscribe to your YouTube channel. It's just post on it and then press the. Do you know I fucking hate doing this because
I do. Because we don't monetize it. We don't want money off it. We don't want. It don't matter to us whether 10 people listen or 10 million. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, of course it is. Just give us a thumbs up if you can, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm sure if you're listening now, you're probably subscribed because I mean, no, where would you find us? .com.
Yes, but 2 of us aren't virgins.
But he don't know what wanker is, does he? Because wanker's a name in America, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it's a name. Yeah.
I have a few British. I've known British people on through like PlayStation and stuff, and I've been called a wanker before, so I know it's pretty much just a slur.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who was called wanker. Do you remember? Oh God, what were it called? It was that. It had him on it. It was a shoe sale. It was a sitcom, American sitcom. He was a shoe salesman. And his wife, him and his wife, and then they had a daughter that like were a great top nice bird like, and a son as well. God, married with children, remember that? You do know, you remember that? You remember married with children?
Zoe Wanamaker.
The what?
Zoe Wanamaker.
No, American.
American. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, American one. It, married with children, it were called, and it had him. He were, and his wife had got big hair and everything. Well, anyway, her maiden name in the show was Wanker, because I remember watching one of the shows, and she saw one of her old school friends. This is fucking sort of shit that's in my head. I can't fucking remember a few weeks ago when Adi had a row on fucking show with some cunt, and we ended up kicking him off. I can't remember that, but I can remember this from like God knows where. But she was her maiden name. It showed because she saw an old school friend, and the old school friend kept saying, "Hey, wanker."
Oh, which is nearly as. Where's he gone?
I think he's logged in on a different one.
Oh, which is nearly as good as
Al Bundy. That's him. Yeah, named after the serial killer Ted Bundy.
Oh right, okay.
Well, I've just read that.
There we go. Now you get to see my big head again.
There he is.
At least I can hear you.
Yeah, there we go. This is my phone. So. Yeah,
right. Well,
I also just wanted to say I would put.
How funny was that? I also wanted to say.
I also would like to say as well.
Taylor.
Can't hear you, mate.
I wanted to say, and then it cut off. So whatever you said, say it again. No, you need to unmute your mic.
Your mic's
not working,
on, mate. We can't hear you at all. Oh, this is brilliant, isn't it? It's zooming in. We didn't zoom in, did we? We said put your mic.
Oh, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yes, here we go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I said I was hoping to get Charlotte on, but every time I ask her, she usually is too busy. Although She actually has a life, unlike me, so that's understandable.
That's a woman's way of saying, "Fuck off, you got no chance."
Yeah, you've got listen. You Americans, you're not very good at taking hints, are you? You're not very good.
I can't speak for everyone else, but I can speak for myself and say no.
I'm sure Apple Charlotte will come on your show at some point. Just quit with the begging bit. Probably that might be.
I'm not begging. I don't ask like every day.
Right, and listen, that's 2 hours. We all know where he is tomorrow night, and I'm going.
Yeah, and so am I, and so we're going to go, aren't we? We're going to do it. So we all know where you are tomorrow. I'm sure you'll send us a link beforehand, and I'll pass that on to Webby as well. Webby will come on. So you're going to have quite a stellar show on your first show. I wonder if you've got an American audience that might be. Who are these guys? Are these?
Can you imagine that? If anybody actually listens tomorrow, it'll be a really nice American guy who's trying to be a referee between three idiots.
Oh well, I consider myself an idiot, especially compared to you guys. You guys know way more than me.
Nah, we don't. Really.
Anyway, we're going to finish on that note. Leeds has said, "Where's my invite?" He fucking says that at like 2 minutes and fucking 2 hours and 4 minutes into the show. He asks where his invite is. We can have an invite anytime you like, mate. You just like tell me a little bit earlier.
I would send him an invite, but the problem is every time I tried to search for his email, it never popped up. It would say this email does not exist.
I've just seen what Webby's subject matter is for tomorrow.
Bills of Exchange USA.
Bills of Exchange USA.
Yeah, baby.
Well, hey, I'm sure that any Americans watching probably will have no idea what bills of exchange are. So, hey, that's
a good subject, yeah. Then you can tell them all about fractional reserve lending. How's that?
Yeah, because I don't usually like to speak for other people, and but I'm gonna do it in this case. I personally think, at least from what I've seen, that Englishmen are a lot more intelligent than Americans, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Well, we probably agree with you on that one.
I from what I saw when I was in the States, and I've only been across the middle bit. I think easily led. Americans seem easily led and more excitable than English people.
Oh, definitely. I can definitely agree with that. From what I've from my experience, definitely.
If there's a bandwagon to jump on, they'll jump on it.
Especially in the YouTube era, with all these people that jump on the new hype train of this new video game's coming out. Let me make a YouTube channel that's dedicated specifically to it, so I can get a bunch of 13-year-old kids to subscribe to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, look, all subjects for you for tomorrow.
Brilliant. Well, thanks to everybody for listening tonight. Thanks to everyone in the chat room as well who's contributed. It's been great. It's been good banter in chat room. I wonder if this still works. I didn't realise this. There you go. So look, it's got our orange colour.
Good colour. Orange is great because now, even though you don't realise it, you're now all Sheffield Steelers fans. So that's good. We've upped the amount
and
of people
Halloween fans as well.
What? Sorry.
And Halloween fans.
Who?
Halloween, the movie, the horror movie, the one with Michael Myers and I forget his name.
Well, that were good. That were a good exchange between good endings. We'll put that on our good endings video, commemorative video.
No, he's in the wrong Washington. Because if he was in DC,
what you think he should be in Washington, Tyne and Weir?
No. Washington, D.C., because then he could go get me a Capital shirt and send it over to me instead of it costing such a fucking fortune on the internet.
Yeah, we could probably get you a Capital shirt from where he is.
There's not many Washington. Go on.
I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah. Yeah, as in Washington State, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Washington Capitals ice hockey team are from how far away? 1, 2, 3, 50, about 2,000 miles.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think I'd ever even want to go to Washington D.C. knowing that that's the country's capital. A bunch of probably the air will probably be full of evil politician type air.
There you go. Another subject for tomorrow. Right, we're going now.
Yes, we are going. That's the end of the show. Thanks very much. We're going to be back Monday and Tuesday. There might be an after dark, I think, maybe end of this week, maybe Friday night when me and Adi have had some bourbon and some vodka and a joint. And
I'm being a good boy.
If we're free about 9:30 or something like that, that might be. But don't forget Taylor's show tomorrow night. Find it wherever you can. I don't know where it is myself, but I'm sure you'll find it. Thanks to everyone in the chat room. Thanks to you. Taylor, for coming on. No, do not start interrupting and wanting to add something at the end, because that's the thing that you do, and that's why Webby left. All right, so anyway, so we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you perhaps later on in the week. Tomorrow a bit.
See you later.
Back next Monday and Tuesday. 2 guests next week.